What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with some more Pirate Rumble, and I've already uploaded a video going through the bare basics, like the bare bones of the actual game mode, talking about how it all works, and just giving you guys the basics as to how to get yourself started. But in this video today, I want to go ahead and just try build a team for you guys, live in a video, and then we'll go ahead and take it into some battles and see what happens, right? So let's go ahead and jump into Pirate Rumble. Let's see, do we actually get any defense? I wonder. One thing I've been seeing is lots of people in the ranking with the same name as me, so that's I don't know how I feel about that. But either way, so we're going to go ahead and jump into an attack team. Now, defending teams are a little bit different. Obviously, you can't see your defending team in action, so it's a little hard to gauge how good a defensive team actually is. But just note that if you are getting a fair amount of defense, it means that your team's doing reasonably well in the defense department. If you've noticed over I'd say it takes a couple days to really determine whether your defending team is doing well. But you know, if it's been like a day and you haven't gotten like a single defense, then you may want to switch up your team a little bit. But anyways, let's jump into the attack team. This is my team that I'm using right now. This is the Slasher team, and from what I've been seeing, this seems to be the most common team that most people are going for. You could probably switch out Carrot for, what's his name? Legend Cracker. He's also a really good unit. That's one thing that I know a lot of people are going to struggle with, is kind of understanding what every single character does. Even to this day, like these characters on the team, I have a decent idea about what they do, but I don't know what they do off the top of my head like what I would do in a generic gameplay video, you know, against a Coliseum or a raid or anything like that. It is a lot different. But in this video today, I'm not going to use this team. I'm going to go ahead and, so this is an auto-built team. I don't suggest using an auto-built team because they're typically really bad with really bad synergy. But in this situation here, we actually have the top three units there with Kizaru, Dofi, and Shanks. Those are characters that have actually been leveling up and stuff, so it makes sense why they put them at the top. But either way, we're going to go ahead and select all, and we are going to build a team from scratch. So this is kind of like what you guys need to go through in order to start building your team. Now, I know that there's other content creators, such as like Asian Guy Stream, who's uploaded, or Asian Guy OPTC, he's uploaded a pretty in-depth analysis as to building teams, because he's obviously a JP player, he knows a little bit more. So if you guys want a little bit more of an expert opinion, I'd suggest go checking out his video. But I'll just show you guys what the best thing to do is in terms of building your team, because you might not have certain characters, which means that team building might be a little bit different for you. So what I would really suggest is have a look at your SugoFest exclusive characters, because they are going to be more likely than not the best characters to be using in Pirate Rumble. So you really got to have a look at your SugoFest exclusives and determine which ones you want to build a team with, because that's what you should be centering your team around. So we'll go ahead and just run through. Let's try and build a shooter team, because I think shooters are going to be one of the best overall classes to build in Pirate Rumble. For at least the early stages, I think the shooter team will actually be pretty good. Now, of course, these are all the SugoFest exclusive shooter characters that I do own. Unfortunately, I don't have the brand new V3 Sakazuki. Would love to have him, but he's actually a really good unit to use as well if you have him. He has reduced cost in Pirate Rumble as well, so that's pretty dope. But the thing is you need to understand what characters do, because you can't just put in like, okay, if I'm just looking at shooters, yeah, I'll put in Katakuri, I'll put in, you know, the Dex Sabo, I'm going to put in you for color affinity. Like, you can't just think about it like a generic team. You have to really go into a character and read what they do. So for this guy right here, this is V2 Lucci. This is a character that I will be putting on the team. He is actually pretty good, because if we have a look at his Rumble abilities, you can see level 1, shooter characters get level 3 speed, and then when you hit a critical, he gives himself a level 5 attack up, and that can launch 3 times, which is pretty good. His special ability, which is a 32 countdown timer, it targets enemies with a medium range horizontal for defense down, and then it does damage. So that's a really good effect, and that's a nice amount of damage too, because it's a medium range and it's horizontal, so that's not too bad. So I will be putting him on the team because he's actually a pretty good damage dealer. Another character that I am really considering, this guy right here. So this Stronghold Ace, or 6+ Ace, however you want to call it, his passive is, again, for shooter characters, or his Rumble abilities for shooters, or Free Spirit characters. They get a level 2 speed up for the first 60 seconds of the battle. And also he gives himself level 6 attack up. So he's a nice character to have on your starting, you know, bench. You don't want him to come off the bench. You want him to be in your main line. So we're going to go ahead and chuck him on. Did I go through his special? His special's a little bit hit or miss though, because he reduces his own health by 50%, but then he does 1.5 times his attack, as damage to every single enemy, and then he gives all of your shooter characters a level 1 attack up. And of course, if you level it up, you actually get like a way better effect out of it. I don't think Ace is going to be a good character to heavily invest in, but you know, for level 1, he actually hits pretty hard, so we're going to be doing that as well. Now, another thing you have to think about as well is like the passives, they give you lots of really beneficial effects. So this guy gives us speed, which is pretty cool, and then we've got Ace as well, which also gives us a little bit of speed. Now, that's all good, but having some sort of defensive effect as well, like if you increase your crew's health or your crew's defense, that enables you to tank enemy specials, which is going to be very important because, you know, if the enemy lands multiple specials against you and you don't have any way to tank it or anything, you are just going to lose. So it's very important that you build a team that is able to tank damage. Frankie is a character that I am considering as well because he gives all those classes a little bit of HP, which is pretty good, and his special ability is reasonably low, and it's a health cutting special, and it gives your crew level 2 defense. So it's a pretty interesting special, so I really like the utilization of Frankie here actually. Kizaru is not a very good character in generic play, but in Pirate Rumble, he is actually pretty good. So his passive ability is another slasher and shooter supporter unit. He gives them a little bit of speed as well. So again, you can see like it's lots and lots of speed. And then his special will go ahead and actually target 4 enemies and does damage. And then it gives your shooter characters attack up. So this is a character that I've been leveling up a little bit because slashers at the moment are really good. And he's like one of the best supporter units for your slashers. So he's just a really good unit to have. And then on top of that, trying to think of who else we could really run. One character that I really hate facing against is this Kuzan. This Kuzan is so deadly, right? So his Rumble ability is actually not too amazing. It gives your team attack up every time he lands a crit, which is, it's whatever. But then his special ability, it does fixed damage, which is nice. And then it also has an 85% chance to action bind a character. Action Bind is like a new sort of debuff specifically for Pirate Rumble, where if an enemy is inflicted with it, they can't move. They literally can't do normal attacks, they can't use their special, they cannot do anything for 5 seconds. And the fact is this can hit nearly your whole team, right? It's actually ridiculous how powerful this is. If you land it, it's just absurdly strong. So I am considering putting him, but in terms of our passives, we don't have anything amazing going on here. We're mainly just focused on speed, which is a little bit risky. We don't have too much defense until Frankie launches his special, so I'm not really a big fan of that. Now at this point, I'm not really too sure if this is going to be like a well-rounded team, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. Let's go ahead and filter out any other characters. Let's see if there's any other shooters we can run. So we can see there's a relatively low-cost shooter characters that have some ability. So let's go ahead and read. So this is the brand new super type Usopp that came out. He's not a super type character, but he works well with the super type Luffy that came out. So his special 24 is speed down on the enemy. That's okay. That's not too bad. We've got a defensive Usopp here. Miss chance up, and it's a relatively low cooldown too, which is pretty good. Cerebral class teammates passive, paralysis reduction. Yeah, paralysis reduction is not too good. And the last character that I'm just going to chuck in the team is going to be this Usopp. He has the ability to reduce special CT speed, which is pretty nice, and he's a health cutter as well. So it's nothing super amazing, but we're going to chuck him on the team anyway. So let's just see how this all goes. Now, your actual arrangement of your characters are a little bit important as well. So you mainly want, well, at least from what I've seen, I don't know full confirmation on this one, but I've seen a lot of people put their tankiest units towards the left of their team. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Ace is really important. I would love to get Ace. The Ace and the Kuzan specials are pretty important to get launched. So I don't know if that's going to change anything, but we can actually go ahead and test this team out. So let's go back. We've got this attacking team ready to go. Now you can actually test it out if you go to single match. Remember, the single matches are, you can run them in infinite amount of times. It does not matter. You can go ahead and challenge these teams and kind of gauge where your team's at and see how fast you're able to clear these boss fights. So we'll challenge the Whitebeard dungeon, see how it goes, and then we'll also take it into a rival match and see how we go. So, all right, let's take on the CPU and hopefully take him down without too many problems, but I guess we'll see how this goes, right? We will see how this goes. Potentially, I could have also put in one of the Pirate Rumble characters, even though they're not like shooter characters that will really, you know, support too much of our team. But the Pirate Rumble characters just in general are like really good characters. They have relatively decent abilities, like the Otama, for example, is a nice healer that you may want to think about. Or if you got Jozu, if you got lots of int characters on your team, Jozu is going to be a phenomenal pick. Then you've also got Neko Mamashi, who is going to be a really nice cerebral and striker supporting type unit. And he's also a health cutter as well, which is pretty good. So you saw Kizaru got his special to launch relatively quickly. Kizaru just launches his special multiple times per run. It is not uncommon to get him to launch like 3 or 4 times in a single match, which is dope. We've got all our specials ready to go, so we just need them to launch. So we've got Frankie, which is a really nice health cutter. We get a little bit of defense there. You can see now we're getting our stats to roll in on our characters down the bottom. This is going to hurt. Yeah, that did a little bit of damage. Okay, we got Kuzan coming up soon. I cannot wait to see how Kuzan goes. Lucci should do a pretty good amount of damage. Defense down, and then pops the damage. Really, really good. Okay, Marco's going to hit us, and I think he heals back as well. He gives us attack down, so that's not too great that we got attack down, but we're still doing okay. Okay, so next is going to be Ace. Okay, let's see how much damage we do with Ace. And okay, that was pretty good. We knocked out the Marco, which is very good. He was just relatively annoying there. And we got Kuzan coming in with the fixed damage, and you can see both of the characters that he hit are action binded for 5 seconds. So that's huge. They basically cannot do anything, and we can just do whatever we want. And you see we already KO'd one of those guys. Whitebeard's nearly dead. Blamenko's going to be dead very, very soon. But so far everything's looking pretty good right now. Kizaru's nearly got his special back. Frankie's nearly got his special back. Again, when Frankie launches his special, we'll get more defense. And then when Kizaru launches his special, he will obviously give us attack up. And it just helps out a lot having him on the team to consistently increase the speed and attack of our characters, which is great. Unfortunately, you get to this point here where when the enemy has like no health left, and if you have a health cutting special, it doesn't help too much. But it's really nice against a lot of tankier enemies to have health cutters to just chip away at their health. So there we go. The shooter team was able to beat the Whitebeard CPU fight with relative ease. Not really too many issues there. I'm going to go ahead and try and take him into a rival match and see what we can find. Okay, so let's see how this shooter team goes against my boy, Captain Pappy. I'm actually surprised we actually found him. That's dope. So Pappy's got a pretty good-looking team. He's got Shank's crew, which is a very tanky unit. He also health cuts. Carrot's looking scary as well. I just hate versing Kuzan, so I really hope that my Kuzan's able to get his special off and is able to just destroy his team. That Rebecca and Viola unit from the treasure map is a really good unit as well, who's got a really nice healing effect. And then Tazora is also a relatively annoying tanky unit. But I'm not too sure how this team's going to perform, but I guess we're going to give it a red hot crack. So I'm really hoping that this team's able to pull through. Remember, this is just a team that we whipped together. None of these characters are leveled up, which is something you have to take into consideration. We are not going to have like amazing high damage teams for a little while at least, until people are able to stock up on the Rumble scrolls. So that's going to be a huge thing to look forward to, you know, continuously playing Pirate Rumble to conserve your scrolls, and then once you're able to max out the effects of your characters, it makes a huge difference. Huge difference with your teams. So at the moment, we're not really doing that much damage. We did get our Kizaru to proc quite early, which is great. We get that attack up, which is going to help us out a bit. How are their specials looking? They're about to get the health cut with Shanks, and also Rebecca and Viola are about to get their special to heal them. Nice little health cut there from Frankie and the defense. And Ace is about to proc as well, so okay, that was annoying. We got knocked back with Ace, so that's not really good at all. He's got the defense up. What's his defense now? Level 5? Okay, that's going to be annoying. Plus, they've healed back. Okay, this is looking a little scary right now. I hope that Ace, when he gets to launch his special, it's able to... Oh, here we go. This is going to hurt. And all 4 of the characters are hit with Action Bind. This is what I'm saying, guys. This is what I'm saying with the fact that the Kuzan is such a scary unit, because by not being able to attack for so long... I mean, 5 seconds, on paper, it doesn't look like a lot, right? But 5 seconds, man, it does make a huge difference there. Frankie getting knocked out. Oh, no, it wasn't Frankie. That was, who was that? I can't remember. That was Kizaru who got knocked out. So we've got Usopp coming in now, which is not really going to help us too much here. We've got our Kuzan coming up very soon. Ace is finally going to be able to launch his special. My God. Okay, how much damage do we do? Okay, we do not too bad damage, and we got Kuzan. We need Kuzan to launch his special, please. Okay, please, Kuzan, we need you to do some work. Okay, that was good. And we get both of them action binded. That is absolutely amazing. So Frankie's going to come in with another health cut. His Kuzan is nearly dead. Once we take down that Kuzan, we're good. There we go. Okay, so we're looking pretty good right now. The shooter team going to take down my man, Captain Pappy's team. That's awesome. So there we go. You know, building a shooter team with Kuzan and Ace specifically. Those two, man, once they launch their special, they do a pretty good amount of damage. Well, Ace does a really good amount of damage, and Kuzan has that really good fixed damage and that action bind. That action bind is so broken, dude. And I consider Kuzan to be one of the better PvP characters in the game. It's unfortunate that his Rumble ability isn't too amazing, in my opinion, but that special is just godly. And of course, Frankie launching his special to continuously give us a health cut and also the defense. Kizaru to give us speed and attack. You've got Lucci who reduces defense and then does damage. So that's actually kind of good in this current state of the meta where a lot of characters are buffing their defense, really high defensive value. So Lucci to come in to reduce the defense and then deal damage is actually pretty good. The Usopp character, I'm not really a big fan of him in the back, but there aren't really too many good replacements right now anyway. But anyways, that is going to wrap up this video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, just breaking down, you know, team composition and how you can take it in and test it. So I'm really happy that team worked out as well as it did. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.